Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Sam with Sota Exotics. Today we are with Kayla from Peck's Gecks, and today we're going to be looking over some leopard geckos as well as some world's first leopard geckos that have not been seen yet. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we are in the reptile room here at Peck's Gecks. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, what got you into reptiles initially, how long have you been working with them, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I only really got into them about a year and a half ago. I got my first leopard gecko, Lemon Zest, and he's a normal. He's my little baby, and as most reptile keepers know, you get hooked after the first one. So yeah, my collection grew and I decided, hey, I really love these animals. I want to start breeding them.
Cool.
So yeah.
That's crazy. So you've been doing this about a year and a half now, and you've already produced a possible world's first leopard gecko. That's incredible.
That's really exciting.
Yeah. Were you into reptiles since a young age, or?
Oh yeah, it's actually funny because when I was a kid, I told my mom, when I grow up, I want to be a snake breeder. And she's like, absolutely not, no way. Completely forgot about it for most of my life. And then I got Lemon and I was like, huh, I remember that dream I had.
Yeah. That's crazy. And then now you're a year and a half into this, you've already produced some crazy looking stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stuff that you have here. Okay, so first animal you got here, a lot of people who deal with leopard geckos know this is the Black Knight.
Yes, he's 100% pure. This is Gerard, named after the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
That's funny. And I noticed a lot of the animals you have in here are named after like stuff that people used to watch. Or
oh yeah, I've got my singers, I've got my horror movie ones. I just love them.
That's crazy.
Gotta have fun with it.
Now, how long have you had the Black Knight here for?
This guy I've had since, let's see, probably only since May, because yeah, I've had him for a short while because it took a while to get him shipped out during the winter. He came from New Hampshire. So yeah, so it took a while for it to warm up enough for him to ship.
Crazy.
But he's here and I love him.
Yeah, that's nuts, the actual darkness of these geckos. And I was just saying, it looks kind of like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. That's very cool. But this is your female pure Black Knight. Yes, this is Kesha. She was the second gecko I got when I first started breeding. So yeah, she's an OG. Wow. Did you get them as young, or did you buy them as adults or sub-adults?
I bought them as at least a year old because I wanted them to be mature enough to breed. I don't breed anything under 8 years old.
Oh, so how old do they need to be for breeding?
I prefer them to be about a year old. Technically, it's when they start ovulating that you can start breeding them, but
that's just crazy because when it comes to tortoises, and I keep tortoises obviously mostly, they don't get to breeding age till 7 years old for a lot of them. Yeah. Some of them even longer than that. So they mature very quickly.
Yes, they do, but they do live a good long time as well.
Oh, that's cool. And do you know the average lifespan?
Anywhere from 15 to 20.
Wow, okay.
But I've seen the world's oldest ones 30 something.
Jeez.
Crazy.
That's nuts. Cool. Okay, so here we have Azula.
Yes.
For those of you who know, that's the sister of Zuko in Avatar.
Yeah.
And this is not a pure Black Knight leopard gecko.
It is not, no.
But it's darker.
She is super dark. It's really interesting what you can get with the genetics with melanistics, because the combinations of different melanistic traits can produce a darker gecko than even a pure. That's
insane. So do you know what she is mixed with?
Yes, I have to look at it.
I don't That's crazy though. That's just nuts how.
Yeah. She's got a little stuck shed on her toe, so she's gonna need a little soak later.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Cool. So this is a pure tangerine?
Yes. She is a pure purple head tangerine.
Head tangerine.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what do these separate traits do to the animal in terms of visuals and stuff like that?
So the tangerine gives it that really nice orange, And if you want to look closer here, you see these patches. Kind of hard to see in the light, but they're very lavendery.
Yeah, oh yeah, I can see them in the camera. It's hard to pick up. But.
So I don't know why they call them purple heads when they get more of the purple tails and the purple splotches.
Yeah.
But yeah, she gets that really beautiful mix of that lavender and orange.
That's insane. Now, do you have any leopard geckos that are like really aggressive or nasty towards you or hiss at you?
The babies are always a little spicy at first.
Okay.
I find with the tangerines that they have a little bit harder time seeing, especially
Really?
in the light.
Huh.
So when she strikes, it's not an angry strike. It's,
Yeah,
I think you're a worm.
Wow, that's crazy. That's kind of like what you hear with a lot of people who talk about animals with albinism. They say they have issues with the sun and stuff. Very cool. Okay, so this one you have here is the mother of some of the world's first that you produced.
Yeah, so she's got a good amount of black knight in her, and she's got that bright purple and yellow, if you can see that.
Yeah, I can see it for sure.
Yeah, so I bred her with a pure purple head, and they made some of the world's first, I call them Twilight babies. They're a mixture between purple heads and black knights. So yeah, she has some babies over in the baby rack over there.
Cool. Cool, so who do we have here, this beautiful bright colored gecko?
This is Tweedledum. He's the son of Dorothy and
Mr. Top.
Yes, Mr. Top. It always lives in my mind. He's down there. Dorothy's in here. She's in her lay box right now, probably about to get some eggs.
Cool.
But this is her first son of the season, and he's just beautiful.
That's great. I can't believe how fast they actually grow.
Yeah.
Is he a holdback? Are you keeping him or?
I was going to, but I got an offer on him yesterday, and he's going home tomorrow.
Very cool.
Yes.
So we got to see him before he goes.
Yes, I'm really glad you got to see him.
Awesome. See, these are the offspring that you have produced this season so far. So what do we have?
This little guy is a Black Knight cross. He is the son of a stud from Gooby Geckos named Ace from the original Fairy Line import. And his mother, it's pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
And his mother is Janice. She's also Black Knight cross over there. But he started out so dark. He's currently going through his light phase, which happens with a lot of leopard gecko babies, especially melanistics. But he is going to go through this light phase for probably 10 grams as he grows, and then he's going to darken back up again.
Wow. So that's they all go through this, or most of them?
Most of them, yeah.
That's crazy. What's the name of this one?
This one is Hannibal Lecter from one of my favorite movies. He is also a purple head tangerine cross like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Same parents, different generation.
Cool.
So yeah, he's really beautiful, shaping up to be nice and bright like his brothers.
Nice. So it's an impure for world's first?
Yes, that's what I'd call it. So it's a purple head Black Knight cross, but it's not the solid 50-50 on either side. But he came out really beautiful, and this is my smallest one.
Yeah.
It's interesting because the purple head genes, I was expecting to make them larger to counteract the small size of Black Knights usually. And so far, 3 out of 4 of them are a good size, but this little guy came out super tiny.
Crazy. I like the contrast of the markings on, I don't know what they call them there, but that's really interesting. So this one is the brother of the one we just saw, who is also the impure Twilight.
Yes, this is Edward.
Very cool.
Team Edward fans.
Yeah. So we have now is what you would call a pure Twilight leopard gecko, which is, as far as we know, never been produced.
As far as I know, yeah, it's not on any sites that I've seen, but he is 50% Black Knight and 50% purple head. His mother is a pure purple head and his father is a pure Black Knight.
Wow. So now when you get the offspring, does it exhibit, because I don't know a lot about leopard gecko genetics, does it exhibit both traits of them, or does it have like one that's a heterozygous?
Well, it's hard to say because they are the first that I've seen of this kind, so it's going to depend on how their patterns develop as they grow.
Wow.
Yeah, but every single shed that they have as babies, their patterns change.
Wow.
So you can't
that's
really
insane.
know what you're getting until they're, you know, a couple months old, and even still, they'll change up to a year.
That is very cool. I'm interesting to see what they would look like once they're fully grown.
Yeah, I'll update you.
So this is another one of the pure Twilight leopard geckos.
Yep, he is the clutch mate of the other one. This is Carlisle, and he is looking super cute. A little bit smaller than his brother, but on the right track.
Cool. Now, I guess, how many leopard geckos are typically in a clutch? Is there...
2, yeah, they lay 2 eggs at once usually, but I always stick around because you never know if there might be a third hidden in there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just lay 1.
Yeah.
It's possible for them to absorb them too if they end up needing the calcium and not being able to lay.
Wow, okay, interesting. Because I feel like tortoises that I keep will sometimes get like double clutches and sometimes 3 clutches. I have a female this season who's laid 3 clutches of eggs.
Yeah.
One in January, one in I think March, and now just another one right now.
So they do lay multiple clutches throughout the season. It's just 2 at a time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so I know what this is. This is Testudo hermanni boatgeri, which is the eastern Hermann's tortoise. He's holding on to his little lettuce here. So you got him in a zen habitat here, which is so cool. You got tons of hides. Very nice enclosure.
Yeah, and I make sure that his enclosure is pretty moist in the mornings and in the evenings because the babies, I know, require a little bit more humidity than the adults.
Yeah, definitely. That's very cool.
He's Beelzebub, my little devil. Should happen.
Cool. And then in this VIP cage here, we have, this is your very first leopard gecko that you've ever gotten?
This is my very first. This is Lemon Zest. Before I realized I shouldn't be buying from pet shops and from reputable breeders instead.
I think we've all made that mistake at one point.
However, he did turn out super beautiful and healthy, and I'm grateful for that, and I love him.
Cool. So this is the very first reptile you've owned?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. I love the patterns on him.
He's a little banana boy.
Yeah, very cool animal. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video. If anyone is interested about learning about the leopard geckos you keep or possibly purchasing one in the future, where can they go to contact you?
Yeah, for sure. Y'all can come to @Peck's Gecks on Instagram, Peck's Gecks page on Facebook, or Peck's Gecks store on Morph Market.
Cool. And I'll link that all in the description below for anybody who likes leopard geckos. Do you currently or plan on doing reptile shows?
I haven't planned any at the moment. However, when my babies start getting a little more mature, I'm definitely considering it.
Cool. Awesome. So if you guys are in the Chattanooga area at some point down the road, you might see Kayla here with a table of her own selling some leopard geckos. But
see you then.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.